This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where dad is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host, Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author of the book Debt-Free Degree, is my co-host today. Open phones as we talk about your life and your money. The phone number is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. So, Anthony, you have spoken now all over America many, many times, and certainly on this show many times, about this idea of how to pay for college, paying cash for college. Is college still a good idea? Mm-hmm. All of these kinds of things, because of this ridiculous epic student loan debacle that our idiot Congress continues to fund with your money and my money. And it's an obvious failure. It's an obvious blight on the American people. And yet they continue to do this to the American people. And yet walk around and talk about forgiving loans, but keep making them.
Right.
So something's wrong with that. But, this idea of paying for kids' college, it's something that families that are building wealth always want to look at.
Yeah. And here's the reason why, Dave. It's because it's preventing our families from actually building wealth if they are racking up student loan debt. Prime example, the average student would graduate with about $38,000 in student loan debt. But then, Dave, when we go deeper, 50 of these young people will graduate with $100,000, $200,000 or more in student loan debt. So a recent survey came out and found out that when these young people graduate, they're going back home. And 31% of them delay moving out of their parents' house because they have student loan debt.
That's 1/3.
That's 1/3 of our young people.
Are not living adult lives.
Are not living adult lives.
And your mama's basement is not an adult life.
But you went to college to become an adult, to have an adult life.
Well, it's part of becoming an adult. You are becoming one whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah.
It's what you signed up for, called staying alive.
And here's one that bothered me, Dave, is less than 1/3 of these young people delay getting married because of student loans.
About 20% of them are saying that, right?
Yes, sir.
1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. And this is why we have Baby Step 5. This is why I wrote the book Debt-Free Degree, because you have these young people going to college to go after the American dream. You have these young people going to college so they can go out there and pursue everything that they want, but it's the debt that's delaying them from getting there. And what we got to do up front is start educating our young people. And really, Dave, I'm going to say this. We're not really just educating. We got to ask the question, is college the right path for your child? And it may or may not be. Mm-hmm. Bottom line. But if it is, here's how you get into it 100% debt-free.
Well, we're not against education.
Not at all.
Education is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes becoming an educated welder makes you $85,000 a year, and you're 1 year out of high school, and you have 4 years to earn while someone else is going to school earning nothing. So you're $250,000 ahead before we start the equation. Mm-hmm. And getting an education in left-handed puppetry, as Rachel says, is a dumb idea. And people go get these useless degrees and act like that somehow society owes them something. So we're not talking about that, but we are talking about getting a good, solid academic underpinning to be able to advance your cause, the cause of your life.
Yes.
And that's a fine thing. And you can do that at a state university with a basic, good, solid degree that gets you a job,
Yes.
Supply chain people coming out, logistics right now, making $80,000 with an undergrad. I mean, so, you do not, obviously you can go through and get an accounting degree. Obviously you can go through and get a communications degree. Obviously you could get a marketing degree. There's a lot of business stuff you can do on one side. On the other side, there's other specialty things, engineering, architecture. There's all kinds of degrees that are worth the money if you don't pay some crazy but Ivy League price for it. You can get your money back. It is a good investment.
Yes.
Yeah. But all education is not an investment. Some of it's stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. And my question is, what's the ROI? If you go to this school, if you get this degree, Can you get a job? Will it be a good return on your 4 years and the money that you spent?
See, when I started teaching this stuff 30 years ago, we would interview people, and a survey would tell us 98% of parents are planning for their kids to go to school.
Okay.
7% were saving for their kids to go to school. Ooh. So, in other words, all talk, no do. Big hat, no cattle, right? Big discussion, no actual getting ready to send them to school. I mean, I guess you didn't have a plan how you were going to send them to school. Maybe government welfare was the problem.
Or Dave, did they not save, or were they planning on just taking out student loans?
No, they just talk. In their head, it was a good idea until they went to the pizza place and spent this week's paycheck. Or until they needed to go to the dadgum all-inclusive whatever at Cancun.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, kids' college takes a back seat because they weren't budgeting for it. They weren't actually freaking doing it. They were discussing it. Yeah. Nowadays, it's shifted. And there's actually, of the people that say that they think they should be saving, a high percentage are actually doing something about it. Yeah. So saving at baby step 5, 4, 5, and 6, we teach you to do together. You're out of debt. You have your emergency fund. You're putting money into retirement is 4. Kids' college is 5, meaning saving, investing for kids' college.
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah, but Dan, I want to say this because you said 4, 5, 6, and 7 is all done at the same time. We are not saying sacrifice your retirement.
No, I said 15% of your income.
Exactly.
Into retirement.
I just want to make sure people
and then you move on to baby step 5. 4 is before 5.
Yes.
That's, yeah. Yes. You'll learn that in college. 4 is first. You put 15% of your income into retirement. And then 5, you do kids' college.
Yes.
And then 6, with any other money you can find, you pay off the house early.
Right.
And this is what millionaires are doing.
Exactly.
Baby step millionaires, the everyday millionaires that we're talking to all the time,
yes.
This is how they're living. It's what they're doing. And then if they got the 529 full and that particular kid doesn't go to school or they get a bunch of scholarships, you can move that money around. You can do different stuff with it. You're not stuck, but you are stuck if you're broke.
And here's what millionaires are not doing. They're not taking out Parent Plus loans. They're not allowing their kids to go out there and sign for student loans. They're saying, no, this is what you're going to do. And if you want me to pay for it, if you want me to help you with it, then you're going to a local community college, you're going to a local in-state, but we're not signing for any loans. Why? Because I love you. Don't allow your child to make a child decision, a kid decision to an adult choice. No, don't do it.
Yeah, you don't get to decide because that's where my girlfriend goes.
Oh, Lord.
This is not how you pick a college. It's but people do.
Yeah, they do.
People do. And
I know a lot of them.
One girl called. You and I were here on the air a few months ago, and she's like, I want to go to so-and-so because the town is pretty. Just shoot me.
I was laughing at that one, Dave. One of them said, I want to go to this college because my boyfriend is going there.
Yeah, well,
I just wanted to scream.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And so, yeah, moms and dads, you have to be good parents and teach them how to go to school, where they can afford it, where you can pay cash for it. You need to save money so that you can cause all of this to happen in your college 529s. Get in touch with one of our SmartVestor pros and you can get that done. Guys, this is very doable.
Yeah.
But you just have to start actually thinking about it and doing something about it. It's very doable. Debt-Free Degree is the book.
Yes, sir.
By Anthony O'Neill. This is The Ramsey Show. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Braden's in Memphis. Hi, Braden. How are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Anthony. How y'all doing?
Great, man. How can we help?
So, got a quick question for you. I'm 21 years old. I have $60,000 cash saved up. I have an $8,000 emergency fund. And me and my wife we've been married for almost 3 years now. We've been renting a house from my dad for about 2 years now. And he's offered to sell it to us for a pretty generous amount that he was willing to give it to us for. So it just appraised for about $215 to $220, and he's wanting to sell it to us for $140.
Excellent.
And I was just wondering, am I in the position to go on and do that? My only concern is that it is an older house. It's been in our family for 70 years now, and so it is older, but it's in really good shape. Is that something smart that I should do, or should I hold off and keep renting?
Braden, what's your household income right now?
So our household income is about $55,000 to $60,000.
Okay, $55,000 to $60,000.
And you have no other debt.
No debt.
Good for you. Yeah. Well done. You guys got started early, and you did well. Yeah. Good work.
Thank you.
Okay. Everything here sounds fine on the numbers. The only red flag I heard was it's a family heirloom. What happens when you want to move?
Well, we've already discussed that, and he's perfectly okay with that. I mean, there's no big connection to it. It's just it was his dad's, and then got handed down, and he ended up buying it from someone else that moved into it. And so he bought it from him. So
you're not going to have you're not going to have your mother mad or some uncle mad or something like that if you sell it.
Absolutely not. No, sir.
Okay.
They're not going to win a piece of the profit when you sell it and make that extra $100,000 that he missed out on.
No, sir. So when I'll take out an $80,000 loan to, put after I put my 60 down, and then it will be deeded over to me, and that's it. To them.
I like it then. Go get it.
Yes, I would do that. I definitely would do that. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And here's the thing. If you don't have to live there forever.
Sure don't.
If the thing starts giving you fits because of its age, make a move later.
So
10 years from today, your life is going to be way different than it is right now.
Yes, sir. We were actually gifted a 100-acre farm last year from my grandpa, and so our ideal situation is to build over there. So really what I was wanting to do, and instead of paying rent in this house, was be putting my money into the equity back into the house. That way, when we're ready financially to pay cash for the house that we want to build on the farm, then we can sell that house and just dump it all into the next house.
It's a wonderful plan.
All right, beautiful.
Now, the only other thing is I want your dad to check with his tax advisor because he is giving you equity in excess of gift tax limits, and so he may need to file a gift tax filing with his income tax. And if you can remember this phrase, teach him this phrase, a unified estate tax credit. He may want to use some of his estate exemption to be able to give you this gift without paying any taxes. Otherwise, he could get dinged with some gift tax in the event of an audit because he gave you a very, very large gift in excess of what is allowed right now without taxes. And so, that's the whole process. So have him check with his tax advisor on that and figure out exactly what the best plan is to do that, the best way to do it. But probably a unified estate tax credit is going to be the best direction. Hey, man, thanks for the call. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Anthony O'Neill is my co-host today. John is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm great. It's a pleasure to speak to both of you.
You too.
Thank you. So I have a recorded land contract that I lived in. I owe 40 and it's worth 90. And I ended up travel nursing, so I turned it into a rental property. I do go back to the area often, and I would like to move back there one day and live in it. So my question is, I know you hate land contracts. I hate land contracts. I have an opportunity to get the $40,000 from a credit union. Just take a personal loan to pay it off.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it. And get the property in your name. The property is not currently in your name.
Correct.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really dangerous.
I know. But so yeah, I just wanted to make sure, taking the personal loan was the right way to do it.
No, it's definitely it's a $40,000 loan, and just a credit union will do it. If they want to put a mortgage against the property, they could. Make sure it's a fixed rate, no closing costs with a credit union. It's a tiny little loan. A mortgage company doesn't want to screw with a $40,000 loan. Okay, and
right.
Credit union's the way to go. Fixed rate, no closing costs, no you don't need an appraisal. This is a brainless loan. It's a no-brainer. Easy to make, but you don't want a land contract. Anthony, for folks that don't know, the land contract is where you have it's also called a contract for deed, which means the property is not deeded to him yet. He has a contract under which he's paying payments, and when he pays all the payments, meaning pays off the debt, then he gets the deed. The problem with that is if something happens to the seller, like they get sued for a traffic accident for $500 million, that becomes a lien on their deed, and the deed is not in his name. These things are dangerous.
Wow.
So get it in your name. You have way too much equity laying there, $50,000 at risk of the seller accidentally doing something stupid. They get an IRS lien on them. It clouds your title. They get all kinds of things can happen because it's not titled to you. The title is in someone else's name, even though you have recorded it. You can have an option to purchase a piece of property and record the option. It just lets people know you have an option, but it doesn't keep that seller from messing up the title before you get it in your name. And that's what this is in a sense. It's an option. And when he says recorded, that's nice. That lets other people know that the property is tied up, but it does not keep you from getting in a screwed up mess if the seller does. So, you go get a loan, get the property in your name ASAP.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about there.
Love it.
Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run all the time, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
So, Dave, today's question comes from Jacob out of Indiana. He says, my mortgage payment is $910, and my only other debt is a $36,000 loan from my grandfather, which I used to pay for college. My monthly income is $4,000, and I'm currently paying $2,000 a month to him. My fiance wants to help pay my grandfather back to get us out of debt quicker. Should I let her help with this even though we aren't married yet, or should we wait until we get married to clean up this debt? Dave, if I was talking directly to the fiance, I would tell her to park that money in the savings account, and then the moment you all get married, cut that check to you. But if if you all don't get married, I would hate for her to be out of that money. So that's my 2 cents of what I would tell her.
Yeah, there is no we. You're not married.
Right.
There's a we after you're married, and so help us get out of debt. She isn't in debt, honey. You are. Until she marries you, and then she's a we. Okay, so that's exactly right. That's exactly how you do it.
It feels so different to say no to getting help. It's easier to say no to helping.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
It was a tough no for me. I was like, oh man.
But here's the thing. The most bizarre one I've ever had of these was I was coaching a young woman, and her she had paid off a bunch of her fiance's debt, and he got killed in a car wreck before they got married. And so what does she do? Does she ask his parents to give her the money back?
No.
I mean, it's messed up.
You're out of the money.
It's messed up. And so that was the most bizarre and sad one. But more times than that, it's not that, it's a breakup.
Yes.
And sometimes this back and forth stuff before you're married causes relationship problems, facilitates the breakup.
Yeah.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Chris and Steph are with us. They are in Minneapolis, Minnesota with a debt-free scream. What's up, guys?
Well, we're feeling pretty debt-free. How are you, Dave?
Well, you sound like you are. That's awesome. How much did you pay off?
We paid off $66,000 in 41 months.
Good for you. And what was your range of income during that time?
Our range was $71,000 to $80,000.
Good. What do you guys do for a living?
Well, we're both teachers, and we do a lot of side stuff. Steph runs a children's theater company throughout the year. Through the summer, she does gig working with the grocery delivery, and I managed to donate plasma along the side. Through my gap in the year, I've found work through scuba diving, valet, country club, grounds crew at the park, and delivered packages.
Scuba diving in Minnesota sounds cold.
It's cold, minus the summer.
Man, even in the summer. I mean, I've done some freshwater diving in Tennessee in the summer, and it's still cold. Oh, man, that's a lot of wetsuits. Good for you guys. What kind of debt was the $66,000?
Well, $55,000 was student loans. Before we were married, it was my loans, but it was ours now. The rest was the car loan, tires, because I didn't know how to save money, and engagement ring. Pretty much everything but credit cards.
Oh, okay. So how long have you guys been married?
We're still normal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
3.5 years.
So that sounds suspiciously like 41 months. So you get married and it was game on. Tell me your story. What happened?
We started Financial Peace University. This was before Ramsey Plus, 4 summers ago. We were engaged. I read The Complete Guide to Money. We listened to your show. We learned a lot. It strengthened our marriage, and then we were gazelle intense from there. We had a baby along the way, so we had to cash flow and slow it down a bit. But once we caught up, we became another level of gazelle intense.
Yeah.
There was another setback called 2020, and that happened, and we didn't know what would happen, so we paused and saved up, but then we resumed almost like nothing happened.
Wow. I'm proud of you guys. Well done. How old are you two?
29.
All
Wow.
right. Good.
Now, I have a question. You said you paused during COVID. Would you say COVID was the hardest thing throughout this journey, or would something else be the hardest thing throughout this journey?
We just paused just for the safety of if we ever had to go back a baby step, but we definitely took priority in paying off the debt despite whatever situation that you were in. It's definitely going to save us more in the future. There's always the pressure of, we have to borrow more, save less. But I don't know. We followed your advice. We stuck to the budget. We tithed along the way. Tithing did not set as big a setback as we first thought. And that's just what we want to let your listeners know.
That's awesome. I'm curious, as millennials, were some of your millennial friends looking at you a little weird, like you're crazy?
Yeah, we're the anti-credit card couple. Been pretty public with that. But, after Financial Peace, the key to getting out of debt is making that plan and communicating and saying no to credit. And we still have to say no to credit. We get those giant zeros in the mail with 0 APR, 0 money down. And, just build those small habits of not getting separate bank accounts or yours and my debts. And so we just want life to be simplified. And the flyer points aren't looking too great for us. The free stuff we kept saying no to, but we just choose no payments either way.
Yeah, amen. So the interesting thing I'm hearing, we're reading studies and things about millennials and our experience with your age group, but we're getting a huge rush of 20-somethings onto the show here, and so we're really, really hearing from a bunch of you guys. But the stuff I'm reading is saying that the 20-somethings are real anti-credit card to start with. They didn't need me to get there. They got there on their own. Are you seeing a lot of your buddies that way, or are a bunch of them just loving credit cards?
What do you think, Steph?
I think that's a good question.
Do we have friends who are really into credit cards?
We definitely do, just for like perks like gas and like Chris had said earlier, airplane flyer miles and things.
So they think they're getting the deal.
The more that we share our opinion on it,
they think they're getting the deal. It's designed to really, I guess, work against you when it looks like it's a benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's that whole thing of, if we can just get you in here and playing with snakes and one of them will bite you. So that's, oh, wow. Okay, cool. Very cool. So proud of you guys. Who were your biggest cheerleaders?
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, we had a lot of cheerleaders, our parents. I mean, we just started this journey ourselves, but, your name is a household name. We're just getting closer to that 7th baby step, living like no one else, but it's kind of nice to taste some beans and rice once in a while. Get a little nostalgic, early newlywed years. Thrift shopping, highly recommend. I can't pass up a good deal. I don't care how much money you got. I mean, can't pass up a good deal.
I love it. That's so fun. Well done, you guys. We've got a copy of The Legacy Journey to take you on to the next step with that new baby, and that's what you're doing. You've changed your family tree, leaving a legacy, heading on to baby step 7 and debt-free all the way. Way to go. And another copy of the Total Money Makeover.
It feels great.
I'm sorry?
It feels great.
Well, we're proud of you. Way to go. Also, a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away to someone and pay it forward and get somebody else moving along here. So very, very well done. Chris and Steph from Minneapolis, $66,000 paid off in the first 41 months of their new marriage. Had a baby along the way, making 71 to 80. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free. Woo!
Yeah! I love it.
That is funny.
That is awesome.
29-year-olds, man. I'm loving it, Dave. I'm loving it.
Well, a 21-year-old calling and paying cash, putting $60,000 down on a house.
On a house. I mean, this millennial generation.
Ding, ding.
They're hearing the message.
Well, I've always said there's two types, awesome and sucks. There's no middle ground with millennials. They're either dumber than a rock,
Dave.
or they're the best kid on the planet, and they're doing everything smart. They don't do mediocre. They do stupid with steroids, or they do wise with steroids.
Hold on, Dave.
They do.
I'm in that millennial generation.
Well, you're one of the smart ones.
Okay.
You're not in the millennial generation.
I am.
You're
I'm 36.
older than that.
I'm 36.
That's not millennial?
Yes, it is. James, am I right?
Millennials are getting old.
Hey, hold up.
We're barely on the bubble, Anthony.
Yeah. Thank you, James. But hold on, Dave just called me old. If I'm getting old, what is he?
I'm ancient and wise and due respect.
Hold up, man. Hold up. I'm still young.
I'm entitled.
I'm young at the heart. I'm young.
All right. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Here's the funny thing about it. As long as we've been doing this, I mean, for 30 years, I've always heard Gen Xers.
Yeah.
They were the ones. They were the millennials back when I started. Gen Xers. Oh, those skateboarders.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. And the baby boomers. Oh, they're just dumber than a rock. They spend and they're all about greedy. And
what was the skateboarders, Dave?
that was the Gen Xers.
Oh.
That was Blake Thompson.
Oh. But yeah, I could see Blake Thompson riding a skateboard.
Oh, he's definitely a big-time skateboard guy. Big surfer, too, still. He's an old guy doing it now, but that's what Gen Xers are. They're old now.
So what is Pete then? Because Pete drives. I mean, he does a skateboard,
Pete's
too.
a big surfer. I would imagine Pete is a Gen Xer.
Is he?
Yeah. He'd be Gen Xer.
I love it.
Yeah. Then there's Gen Y.
Yep.
And then there's
Gen Z.
millennials.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Gen Y got accused of, but every generation's been accused of having their slackers. Every generation.
Yeah.
And now boomer is that's like a name you call old people. You're just a boomer. So funny.
I'm glad you know you're a boomer, Dave.
Definitely. I'm a total card-carrying boomer. And dad jokes. That's me.
Oh, man,
This is the Ramsey Show. Auto insurance companies love to play the game where they see just how high they can jack up your rates for no apparent reason, right? This is fun. Good news, it's not hard to beat them at their own game. It's called shopping them. All you got to do is check on your policy every year or two and make sure you're getting the best price on your coverage. And if you haven't done that, you're really probably not. At the break, we were out here. We just met one of our endorsed local provider insurance agents from Muskegon, Michigan, just a minute ago. These ELPs are independent insurance agents, which means they shop among several different companies and get you the best price. They actually work for you. They're paid by the insurance company a commission, but they work for you because they help you find the best deal. And so you're going to save $600-700 on average when you have them shop it for you. And of course, it doesn't cost anything for them to go shopping for you. So call them, get in touch with them. Don't sit back while your insurance company jacks you around for no reason. Man, don't we all kind of hate this whole thing? Text AUTO to 33789 and put a trusted ELP insurance agent on your team, an endorsed local provider. That's AUTO to 33789. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Jake is in Dallas, Texas. Hi, Jake. How are you?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Happy to hear it. So I'm 22 years old, self-employed, and I'm getting to a point where I really want to start paying off all my debt, building up a retirement plan, and just overall being more wise and more strict with my budgeting. However, I'm self-employed, so my income varies, although it is steady. But I just wanted to see what you would recommend as a method to build a budget when you are self-employed and the money doesn't come in as consistently, but you just want to stick to that budget and be as efficient with your money as possible.
So what's your taxable income in 2021?
2021, I would estimate my personal taxable income around $80,000.
Good for you. Well done. What are you doing? What kind of business?
So I do a lot of post-production work remotely for different film production companies around the world.
Okay. Any employees?
No, it's just me.
Good for you. Well done. Well done. Well, I think the biggest thing is not how to attack the debt. You're going to attack the debt just like anyone else would with your income, working the debt snowball, right? Smallest to largest, and get after it in that order. Okay? The question is how to manage the irregular income. The first thing I would do is go get Ramsey Plus and get a free trial membership going, and get the Every Dollar Premium version going, because the Every Dollar app will help you do this. What you can do is you can just go in and adjust it as your income moves around. And so that's fairly easy way to do it. Old school, the principle that you want to use, even when you're using the Every Dollar app, is a prioritized spending plan. Okay? Now, what that sounds like is this. In your case, you have a fairly predictable stream of income, but if we wanted to go all the way to zero, we could start with and say, okay, if I can only afford to do one thing this month, what's that one thing? And you put a number 1 beside that on your budget. That's food, by the way. Mm-hmm. Okay? If I can only afford to do one other thing, what would I do? And you put a 2 beside that. I'll tell you what that is. It's utilities. Because if you eat and keep the lights on, you can deal with the landlord later.
Okay.
Okay. In worst case scenario, but you're not even that far down. You said you have steady. It's just unpredictable.
Correct. And sometimes it's irregular in terms of when the money comes in. But just wanting to...
So anyway, you go all the way down that list. And when you get towards the bottom of that list is where the action takes place in your world. And that is that, when you get to number 16, You do 16 before you do 17. And you put the debt snowball stuff in those bottom, the extra money on debt moves down after you've taken care of the necessities of life.
Okay.
And they're ahead of going on vacation because you're in baby step 2. You're not going on vacation.
Right, right.
And they're ahead of going out to eat because you're in baby step 2 and you're not going out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
How much debt are you in right now, Jake?
If you don't count, I just bought a house.
Excluding the house.
The way the market, including the house?
Not including the house.
Excluding.
Oh, sorry. Okay. House. I would guess business about $7,000 business debt, and then about $20,000 personal debt, including my vehicle.
Including as far as their vehicle is inside the $20,000?
Correct.
Okay. What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a 4Runner, Toyota 4Runner. It's big enough and efficient enough for what I need.
Yeah, and you can afford to do every bit of thing what you're doing. You just need to get it paid off. And so $27,000 makes you debt free except your house?
Yep.
Correct.
You make 80 and you're single in 22.
I'm married.
Okay. What's she make?
So she is also kind of in between jobs right now. We're looking to move kind of closer to back home with family. So her income fluctuates a little bit, but roughly $2,000 a month wages right now.
Okay, so you got $100,000 income. You have $27,000 in debt. You pay off your $27,000 inside of 1 year.
Absolutely.
That sounds good.
$2,500 to $3,000 a month at least towards this debt. Boom, smack it in the head. Now, that's assuming a steady flow of this income, and it's not a real volatile income. But that should be the average over the 12 months. You should be debt-free in 12 months easy. Really a little sooner, actually.
But the key ingredient to this, Dave, is what you said earlier. He has to get on the budget. He has to literally sit down and write out his priorities.
Yeah.
If you do not do that, you will not get out of debt because you're not going to know where your money's going. So sit down with your wife and y'all figure this thing out. And I heard you say you may want to be moving soon. I would focus on this before I move. So that way you're not even more unstable. Go ahead and get out of debt. Then let's talk about moving after we get out of debt.
That's not a bad idea at all. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Michael is with us in Waco, Texas. Hey, Michael, what's up?
Doing well. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you because I am a very indecisive person by nature, and just having the streamlined baby step process has brought a lot of peace of mind to, me and my household and my wife. So thank you for the work that you've done.
Thank you.
So my question is kind of career related. When COVID hit, I made a pretty drastic career change from teaching piano lessons with a music degree to working in the retirement plan industry. It was the first time I had ever made a salary because I was self-employed before that. So they had me in sales, like their sales department at first, and I earned the first kind of company-required certification a lot faster than they expected, considering I had a music degree. Plus, I think they realized that I enjoy numbers more than people sometimes. So they moved me to the actuarial department. So my question is, I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary working for this company, and I think I'm at a little bit of a crossroads. On one hand, I could stick with more of the administrative work that I've been doing for them. And on the other hand, I think my employer would be pretty excited and willing to pay for my actuarial certification training and the exams for me to actually become an actuary. The downside of that is that I'd need to put in a lot of extra hours every day outside of work studying. And I just don't know if my educational background is sufficient for that, considering, like I said, I have a music degree, and it would take several years to earn that certification. I just feel like it would be taking a lot more of a risk. If I wasn't married, this would be a different conversation because I would be willing to take on that risk. But with
the risk is time.
Right.
The risk is time away from the television. Whoop-de-doop-de. It's no risk.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure whether or not I have the capability to, because I don't know if I would need to take.
Yes, you do.
Come on, Mike.
They would have already fired you. Yeah. They're not going to let you sit in an actuarial chair if you can't do math for a year.
Well,
and you think they're willing to pay for you to get the certification, which also means they think you can do it. I mean, do you feel incompetent or just lacking in confidence?
Probably the latter.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I think you're better than you think you are. That's what I think. Oh, by the way, there's a lot of tie-in, if you haven't noticed, between music and math, or so I hear.
Yes, there definitely is. I've always had a tendency for numbers. I mean, my dad was an engineer.
Dude, you're more of a
would've been an
stud than
engineer.
you think you are. Throw your shoulders back, rip your shirt off, show the S on your chest. Let's go.
Okay, I kind of have enough.
You can do it, man. You can do it. I promise you, you can do it. Don't you think you can do it?
Yeah, he can take his shirt off.
You are wrong. You are wrong. Do you have an S on your chest, Anthony?
I sure do.
I do too, buddy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It stands for super old boomer.
That's funny.
This is the Ramsey Show. Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Host of The Table on YouTube, and lots of wonderful, interesting folks join him for conversations at the table. And you guys, are you taking calls from people at the table?
Not yet, no sir.
Not doing that. So it's just a discussion every time. I should know that. I listened to it, but it just occurred to me, why don't you take calls? Okay. So anyway, if you want to talk to Anthony, now here's your chance then. So the phone number is 888-825-5225. AO is in the house. 888-825-5225. Tori is in Cleveland, Ohio, starting off this hour. Hi, Tori. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I am kind of in just like a pickle of what to do. I've been listening to you for a little bit now, and I've worked really hard the last 2 months to just get debt paid down. I originally was living with someone in an apartment, and I ended up moving back home in an unfortunate event. However, it's a really toxic place to live in, and so I'm basically fiending to get out. And I just kind of don't know what to do because of going through bills. I have the Every Dollar app, and when I look through it, it's very much so that I either would live pennies in the dollars or I'd be over. So I just don't know how to go about this.
Tori, why do you say it's toxic? I'm curious.
It is messing up with my mental health, and so it makes things almost worse because I just hate it. It's every day a problem. I'm one of 5 kids, and the 3 younger kids have disabilities. And my parents definitely struggle to handle it. And it's a mixture of disabilities of mental and behavioral issues. So just even a quick example, if I'm sleeping and I need to wake up at 8 or 9 o'clock because that's what time I want to wake up, I'll probably wake up around 7 to my father screaming at the kids. And that's just barely even a tiptoe dive into what it's like.
So how old are you?
23.
And I think I heard you say you don't make enough to live on your own.
I feel like I don't make enough.
Well, no, it's not a feeling. It's a math thing.
Yeah.
How much do you make?
My base pay is $35,000 a year. I make a little bit of commission each month. On a conservative end, my monthly income is right around $2,200.
You make enough to live on your own.
You sure do.
Okay.
I don't know what all you're trying to put in the Every Dollar app, what all you're trying to finance here. Have you got a bunch of debt?
I have $33,000 in debt, It's a mixture of an auto loan for $13,000 that is under someone else's name, but I'm a co-signer. And I've been trying to figure that out for a while, and I just pretty much, the gentleman's not letting me do anything with it. Then I have my personal loan.
Are you driving the car or is he?
I'm driving the car.
Okay, so you need to treat it like it's your car loan and get it paid off and get your car, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
I've been doing that very much so, yes.
Good.
And then I have $15,000 in student loans, and I just went from $6,000 in credit card debt to $2,000.
Yeah, what do you do?
I work at Verizon.
Okay. 40 hours?
I'm actually at Verizon right now.
Do you work 40 hours?
I do work 40 hours, yes, and I've been looking at a part-time job.
Okay. Yeah, you need one.
You do. Yeah.
Or two, or three.
Stop looking. Go.
You ain't got anything else to do.
Yeah. You have any kids, Tori?
No, I don't have any kids.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, you do need to get out, and you may just need to get a good roommate and find yourself in an apartment situation that's very, very affordable. No, you can't afford something super expensive. You don't make a lot of money, but if you got a rent, if your rent was $500-600 your part, which is very doable in Cleveland, Ohio, if you had a roommate for sure. You can do this, or find just a little studio somewhere in the, garage apartment out back of some old lady's house type of a thing. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. It just needs to be quiet and yours.
Yeah. Yeah. My monthly payment on my car is $443 a month, and it'll be paid off in less than 3 years.
Your car's going to be paid off a lot faster than that because you're going to get 6 jobs and you're going to pay off all of this really fast.
Okay.
I want you to double your income.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all you're going to be doing is working for a little while. Because right now, here's what you've got. Here's what you got, okay? You don't make enough money to not be miserable with the debt and the living situation. So the way to fix the debt and the living situation is more money to fix both of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if you fix both of those, if you had no debt and you could make a budget that you could live in a decent apartment, you'd have a really good life right now at 23 years old, and you'd be on your way choosing what career you wanted to do and all that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
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 So I want you to get like 6 jobs. I want you to be a nanny. I want you to be dog sitting. I want you to be, I don't care, whatever it is you like to do, but let's go make up some money.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can make $2,000 a month just, delivering pizzas on the week, 5 days a week at night.
Yeah, yeah. And Tori, depending on what your education is, I want you to go to tutor.com. Start tutoring some kids. They're paying right around $75 to $150 an hour, depending on what you could bring to the table. And if you could do that from home a few nights an hour, not a few nights, but a few hours a night, you could really make it. So there are some things out there that you can do to generate some extra income to go towards paying off your debt and getting your income higher.
Yeah, but here's the first thing. The first thing is you lay out a budget that takes care of food, utilities, shelter, and car payment.
Yeah.
And minimum payments on the credit cards and call the student loan as a hardship deferral if you have to. And then you go get 6 jobs and you start plowing through your debt snowball, listing your debts smallest to largest. I'm telling you, if you go make another $30,000 next year on top of what you already make, you could be 100% debt free in 1 year.
Easy.
And that's going to change your whole position of where you are. You can actually do this, but your brain's kind of foggy because you're just kind of stuck in this job that's not like your big career job that you really wanted. You've got this situation back at the house that you're trying to get away from, and it's hard to just do simple math when your brain's working like this. So we're telling you, we're looking at it, and I think you can lay out a simple budget that just says food, utilities, roommate rent, and pay the car payment, keep gas in the car, and work all the time. No life. You're not going to get to go out running around. You don't get to go out to eat. You don't get to go to bars on the weekend. You're going to be working, unless you're working at one of them. That's the only place you're going to be doing. That's the only place you're going to see the inside of a restaurant or a bar. Okay, so it's time to get game on and go take your life by the throat and shake it and make it behave.
Absolutely.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. This is The Ramsey Show. If you're stressed or you're hurting because you're worried about your retirement savings, well, I can help you with that. Maybe you were super close to retiring and now you're wondering if you should work a few more years. Maybe COVID scared you to death. Maybe you weren't investing in the right things, or you were investing too aggressively and you lost more than you could handle emotionally. Maybe you pulled everything out at exactly the wrong time last year when the market dove during COVID before it came back. Oh, no. If you're in any of these situations, I want you to know that you don't have to face this pain alone. Now more than ever, seek out the advice of an investment professional. A conscientious investment pro, like one of our SmartVestor pros, is not going to tell you to invest in something dumb like gold or Bitcoin. They're going to say the tortoise wins the race. Long-term investing strategies, steady, conservative, don't lose your money investing strategies. That's what I do, and that's what they're going to tell you to do. You don't have to let 2020 kill your confidence in your retirement. Go to DaveRamsey.com or go to RamseySolutions.com/investor. That's RamseySolutions.com/investor. Sandra is in Cincinnati. Hi, Sandra. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. I appreciate this.
Sure. What's up?
All right, so I have a question about term life insurance. My husband and I, we have 9 years left on 20-year policies. In 2019, he became disabled and spent that entire year with no income. In 2020, early 2020, he was approved for permanent disability. So my question is, we have... with him being on disability and no longer working, we pay $85 a month for his insurance, and it's not very much for his term. It's only not even $140,000 in coverage. And I wonder if it's worth, should I keep paying the next 9 years on that with him not working any longer?
Mm-hmm. So he before he became disabled, he already had expensive term?
Yes. Yeah, he's had health problems. Yeah, it's 20-year term. We have 9 more years on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had other medical issues before?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a rated policy. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So it's only $140,000, but if he dies, you would lose his disability, right?
That's what I'm not 100% sure on that. I was hoping you might know a little more about that.
You definitely would. Your children would receive SSI if they're not 18, but you don't receive anything.
They're grown.
Okay. Then disability payments die when the person dies. You lose them. So how's he doing overall?
Overall, I mean, he's not terminal. Yeah, I don't think beyond where we all are, but his mobility is very limited, and he stays at home all the time.
That's tough. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What do you make?
I make a little over 90,000.
Okay, and so this is $1,000 a year. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Y'all have any savings right now, Sandra?
We actually just this month, after 30 years of marriage, this month we're writing off our last debt payment, and we're going to be done. So we have the emergency fund. We're going to start building the 3 to 6 month fund. But we also have, IRA, retirement accounts, about 150 each, ballpark, nothing crazy.
And how old are you?
My son, I am 53. He's 57.
Okay.
And my son's
I would keep
college.
it about 5 more years until you get your nest egg building a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm going to keep it the whole 9 years, but I'm going to keep it 3 or 4 or 5, maybe something like that, while you get this nest egg cranked up. It's only $1,000 a year, and $140,000 will go a long way right now in your situation. Mm-hmm. But what I love about the question is you're actually trying to think it through. And, can I make it without that money if something happened to him? Which you didn't know for sure would be the case until you talked to us just now, but that is the case. So you just got to say, all right, do I need this little bit of cushion until I get this nest egg going a little bit further now that I'm finally out of debt and I make $90,000 a year? So yeah, I'm going to keep it a little while longer, but you can make that decision again in a year, in another year, and another year. You don't have to do everything exactly the way I said it, but I think the 3 to 5 year mark is going to make a lot of sense. Another $3,000 to have the insurance in place. 3 years from today, you ought to have a lot more money in investments than you have today, because now you're debt free and you make $90,000. So that's good news.
So, Dave, in this situation, correct me if I'm wrong, I like what you said. Should her focus be, and to anyone else who's listening, get a fully funded emergency fund, start investing, and then maybe put a little bit more in the savings for possible burial cost, so she can have some extra cushion if something was to happen?
You might make sure you have the full 6 months in your emergency fund.
Yeah.
Have a full emergency fund, but that's all you would need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good question, though. Yeah.
Just thinking.
The point, Sandra, is you're doing a really good job of reevaluating now that things changed.
Yes.
And guess what? You're going to do that every year. You're going to reevaluate now that things changed, because they're going to change every year. And so, you may get a big raise. Your investments might take off and do really well. Could be just the opposite. We have struggle getting money into the investments, so we want to keep it a little longer. But somewhere in there is the plan somewhere in between there is the plan. But for today, I'm keeping it at least 1 more year. And I'm okay with a 3 to 5 year plan somewhere in there. I think you're going to be okay towards the end of it, though. Thanks a bunch. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You guys jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Casey is in Little Rock. Hi, Casey. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get your insight. I have about $80,000 in debt. My highest is my student loans for about $60,000, and last year I bought a car. It was about $21,000. Right now I have about $19,364 left on it. I'm trying to get your insight. Do you think I should keep this car? I make about $53,100.
No. You need to get rid of the car. You should have never bought the car. What kind of car is it, real quick?
2020 Hyundai Accent.
Hyundai Accent. Okay. All right. Yeah. We need to trade this car in. We need to sell it, actually, and then go get you a cash car. You have any cash in the bank right now?
Just $1,000. Yes, sir.
All right. We're about to go to a commercial here, but once Dave get done talking to you, I'm going to have Kelly stay on the line. I'm going to have her send you a copy of my Destroy Your Student Loan Debt. That's going to help you walk through these student loans, but right now you need to get rid of this car.
So our rule of thumb, Casey, that he's using to do that is if the car is more than half your annual income, or you can't be 100% debt-free, including the car within 2 years because of the car, then it's time to get rid of the car. The second one is what got you. Obviously, $19,000 is less than half of $53,000, so that'd be okay. It's on the bubble, but it'd be okay to keep it. You shouldn't have bought it, but it'd be okay to keep it and pay your way out of it. The problem is you're not going to be able to make debt free if you do keep it within 2 years. It's going to take you 3 years, and so it is worth stepping down out of that car, and that's what Anthony That's how he made that decision
Real quick.
so quickly.
Yeah.
Is those are two guidelines we use, because here's the deal. Cars come and go, but wealth is built when you get rid of the payments. The faster you get rid of the payments, the faster you can build wealth, and the faster you can buy a different car. But right now you need a beater.
Yeah. Stay on the line. Kelly will take care of you and get you a copy of that book.
Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. A couple of cool-looking gazelles on the stage right here in Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. It says Gazelle Intensity, little unicorn action on there. Great T-shirts. Don't know what a gazelle is. It's a unicorn you put on your T-shirt. Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's fun. So Q and Katie are with us. Hey, guys, welcome. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having us.
Except for that unicorn part. But yeah.
There's a story. There's a story.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you just don't know what it is. All right. I feel much better about you already. How much debt did you pay off?
$116,000.
What? Look at that. How long did this take?
27 months.
Whoa. 27. And your range of income during that time?
Started at 90,000 and we're at 160 now.
Mm-hmm. Wow. There you go. What do you guys do for a living?
So I work for a wire fraud prevention tech startup.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm an outside claims adjuster.
Okay. Good. So 27 months, your life has radically shifted. Your income doubled. And you paid off $116,000. This has been a wild 2.5 years for you.
Yes,
sir.
Definitely.
Yeah, so tell us the story. What in the world happened? And tell me what happened with the unicorn.
Do you want to do the unicorn?
Okay, so we have a gazelle group, and we all have iPhones, so we're texting emojis, and there's no gazelle emoji. So we just like, hey, we got to pick an emoji, and we're like, a unicorn, pick the unicorn. So every time we paid off debt, we would text in the group unicorn, just a bunch of unicorns.
That was like our celebration.
I have to work on old Apple and
some gazelle
no gazelle action.
Oh man,
yeah.
What do those people know? You would think there's everything else.
Everything else in it.
Right.
We need a gazelle emoji.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can sell one and add it somehow.
Ooh.
I don't know how to
That'd
do
be
that.
Brilliant.
So your tech startup guys could tell me that.
Right. Yeah. We'll work on that.
Okay. So this is the best we can do for an emoji because it's lame. Okay.
Exactly.
All right,
We liked it. It was exciting.
It. Well, you are unicorns because you're very unique.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Very hard to find. They're rare. And paying off 116 in 27 months is very rare. What kind of debt was this?
So we had a little bit of everything: student loans, personal loans, credit card, medical debt, cars. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Cousin AO, we were normal.
Hey, man. You're not normal anymore. You're unicorn.
You're officially weird now. That's right. Rare.
Right.
I like it. So what got you so inspired and on this for 27 months?
Yeah. So we were going into the negative. We were overdrafting on our account probably for like 3 months in a row, and I was just like feeling really stressed out about it. I started to really look for a plan, and I found you, and I was like, oh, this is a really good idea. It's steps. Like, I love a good action plan that I can follow. Like, just give me the steps, I'll follow them. I like to follow rules. And I said, I think we should do this. And he was like, I don't know what that's about. And I actually happened to work for Churchill Mortgage at the time, and you spoke at the 25th anniversary party, and he was there with me, and he was like, who is this guy on stage? I was like, that's Dave. That's the guy I've been telling you about. Like, that's the thing we got to do. We got to follow. And he was like, still not impressed. And then
it just got personal.
Dave, I actually took a photo of you, Dave, and I was like, somebody said this guy's famous or something.
True.
I don't know.
That's
He's not. That's okay.
So then he ended up going on a road trip relatively soon after that, and kind of magically lost service, right? So none of the other like apps were working for music or anything, but the Dave downloaded podcast was available for him, and listened to 4 hours of Dave on a road trip by himself, and then came back and thought he had this really good idea for how we were going to get out of this.
Came home from a road trip a genius.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm curious, how was that conversation when you came home, though?
I came home and I was like, hey, babe, this is an awesome plan. Dave Ramsey, he made total sense. Everything he said, we got to do this now.
Yeah.
And she was just like, that's what I've been trying to tell you.
What do I look like? What do I look like? I was telling you the same thing.
Right.
That's so fun.
Somebody
you guys
else
are fun.
said it.
Yeah, I could tell you weren't too stressed out about it. You joked around, had a good time, and said, all right, game on.
Yes.
So
Game on.
how old are you two? I got to ask.
I'm 29, and this is she's a beautiful young woman.
Okay, then. I hear you. That's a smart man. I'm not going to say her age, because she did look up at you like
some kind of anniversary of her 29th birthday coming up, yeah.
You know,
Maybe just a little older than him.
hey, it's all good. So I got to ask, millennial couple, you know, Dave says some of us suck, some of us are good.
Right.
So you all are on the good side.
Hopefully, yep.
You know, so I got to ask, throughout these 2.5 years, what was the hardest part being a young couple, you know, having to be this diligent, being unicorns, being gazelle intense? What was hard throughout this process?
Yeah.
That was, and I told her there's two things. It's communication, learning how to communicate, because before this plan, we realized we didn't communicate that well. And then hope. One thing that Dave Ramsey, your plan does is give hope. When she first brought the plan, I was like, you go through life, you have a car payment, you have a house payment, you have debt, you have student loan debt. We had no hope. And then we went through financial peace, and it brought hope back, and then it strengthened our communication.
Very cool. So you went through Financial Peace University then?
Yes.
Okay. Once the road trip was over, we're going to go do the full class, get this going. Very good.
Right.
So how do you double your income?
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely, we brought in, started side gigs and side jobs, but we also just like worked and hustled really hard at our like primary jobs as well, got promotions, moved and
Yeah, we used to live in Antioch, and so I was a pizza delivery guy, and she worked at O'Charlie's, and we grinded. Then we moved to Michigan.
Started a website, side hustle.
Followed Christy Wright.
Did everything.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Grind.
Yeah.
Good for
got
you.
promoted too. Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Well,
I mean, that's amazing. And really, the 116 in 27 months is very impressive. But when we see, you know, the way you did that was a clear plan, hope, communication, and game on.
Yeah.
I mean, with the income. You doubled your dadgum income.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw an extra $70,000 worth of wood on the fire, it'll burn.
That's true. It helped.
And funny is, I called you, Dave, when I didn't really know who you were, and you basically just yelled at me. And so that's what kind of got me fired up.
Now you know who I am.
Exactly.
Now he loves you.
Yes.
What did I tell you? That's funny.
You said, because I asked, we had 2 lease cars, and you said, sell them. We weren't married yet, and you said, why are you shacking up without being married? And so we turned it on. We said, game on.
Wow. Well, listen, next time just call into the Anthony O'Neill show.
That's right.
And you'll be all right.
I listen to you all the time, Ayo.
Oh, thanks,
all the time.
man. It means a lot to me. It means a lot.
Yeah, me too.
What would you say? What would you say is the secret for millennials to getting out of debt, or all people?
Yeah, I think it would apply to everyone. I mean, I think saying no a lot, to things, or we really. In the moment, it felt really hard, and it felt like, we had to turn down a lot of things and say no to a lot of things and had other jobs. And Dave says it all the time, it's a really short period. Like, now we get to do whatever we want to do. So, like, if you can really, really hustle and be just really disciplined for that short amount of time, it feels really good when you're done.
Yeah. It creates so much momentum in your life. That because you guys did basically 10 years worth of work in 27 months.
Yeah.
I mean, you compress those time frames, and then there's an explosion out of that. You create momentum from it. Right. You got the big mo on your side,
Exactly.
And it's just very cool. I was talking. I did a talk for Churchill this morning, oddly enough.
Yeah, they told us.
And and I was talking to them about momentum and about the momentum theorem. And the way you create momentum is compress those time frames. Yep. That's just very powerful. I heard that when I was a little kid. When I was 22 years old at a sales conference, and it stuck with me. So there's something powerful about doing a whole bunch of work in a short period of time. It creates an explosion versus doing a little bit of work over an extremely long period of time, which creates no energy at all.
Yeah.
And so you just drag butt stuff out. I work 6 hours a week. No, go crazy. And that you guys got crazy. I'm so proud of y'all.
Thanks.
We got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you and Total Money Makeover for you to pay it forward and for your next steps. $116,000 paid off in 27 months, making $90 to $160. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
What a cool couple.
Yes, sir.
They're fun. And they can call your show if they want somebody nice.
Yes.
O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Michael is with us in Austin, Texas. Hey, Michael, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much, David, for taking my call.
Sure.
How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
David, I want your advice. I'm a 50-year-old healthy man, very happy, and I feel very successful. I run into your videos about a year ago, and man, I cannot stop following you. And not that I want to, anyways. I have a salary of roughly $115,000 a year, and I have a $600,000 in my 401k and $100,000 cash in my savings account. And I recently became a private pilot, and I wanted to buy an airplane. So I just wanted to ask you if you think that would be a good idea, considering that the aircraft price is in the neighborhood of $250,000 to $300,000, and I'm planning on paying cash. So there you go. That's my question.
Yeah. Well, the truth is, an airplane falls in the, in the bucket of things with motors and wheels, and they go down in value. Just like a car does or a boat does or anything else. And so the good news is if you purchase well in the $250,000 range, you're not going to lose tons of value, but it is going to go down in value. They're not as steep as, say, a $250,000 yacht would be. It goes down faster, much faster. But it is a luxury item. It's a fun thing, especially when you've got your pilot's license. That's super fun. I don't want half of your net worth tied up in it. What am I missing? Is there a bunch of other investments somewhere?
No, I recently run into your video where you advise to invest in mutual funds. So I took $15,000 just to try out of my $100,000 cash that I have, and I put it in investing on a mutual fund. And man, you're right. It's growing fast. And I thought, okay, I think if I divide this and put open different portfolios, so in the neighborhood of $15,000 to $20,000, and it grows fast. In 2 years, I have the $200,000 that I need. And then I still have 8 more years to work and continue saving. My house is paid off.
Did I misunderstand you? Didn't you tell me you make $115,000 per year?
He did.
That is correct, sir.
So you're putting in $15,000 per year. Is that what you're saying?
No, I put $15,000 in the mutual fund a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Following one of your videos. But I have a $100,000 cash in my savings account.
I know, you told me that. But $15,000 is not going to turn into $250 in 3 years.
No, I continue saving, and then also I'm gonna wait a couple of more weeks, and then I'm gonna open another portfolio with another 15,000, and I'm gonna do 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I mean, you have the money. You're obviously a grown guy. You can do whatever you like. I would not recommend, as your financial advisor, that you have half of your net worth or 40% of your net worth tied up in things with motors and wheels that go down in value, and that includes really nice small airplanes. So, it's a toy. It's a toy. It's a very expensive toy, and you don't want half of. I mean, let's say a guy had $50,000 saved to his name, and he wanted to buy a $20,000 boat. No, you wouldn't do that. It wouldn't make sense because you'd have too much of your entire net worth tied up in something that goes down in value. And it's the same ratio. I mean, you've got $700,000 to your name, and you're talking about putting $250 in. So it's, it's approaching 40% of your net worth. And am I missing something?
No, you're not. And Dave, I was going to ask, isn't it the maintenance on the plane? I don't own one, so I'm just thinking like the maintenance, the gas, to keep it stored. I mean, doesn't that also add on to?
Well, there is an extra cost, and everything. Airplanes are like boats. If they sell you a screw that at Ace Hardware would cost 50 cents, but because it says marine or aircraft on it, it's $6. Everything's marked up like eightfold. If you buy it for a boat or buy it for an airplane, they just go bananas on it. And so everything is uber expensive to fix and to work on in those situations. Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. There's the added ongoing fuel, other things, and so forth. So I think you enjoy your hobby by renting aircraft. Yeah, is what I would do. And that's what you're doing now to get your license, to get your hours in, and to continue your process. Now, if you continue to invest in a few years, you have $2 million, and you want to put 10% of it into toys at $200,000, then that would make more sense. That's okay. But I can't recommend you put 40% of your net worth into toys. I just can't. It's not in good conscience. I'm with you. I hear your heart. I hear how you really want to do it, and I want you to do it, but I don't want you to do it and it be a mistake.
I want to do it with you.
Well, I'm not sure I want to do that. But I'm kind of careful about who I get in an airplane with. But, I think Michael's a good guy, but I don't know him that well yet. All right, Casey's in Little Rock. Hey, Casey, welcome to the Ramsey Show. Casey?
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
How can we help? You okay?
So, yeah, I just spoke to you a minute ago.
You just spoke to me a minute ago? Okay, well, we'll work on that. All right, Julia is with us in Colorado Springs. Hey, Julia, what's up?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to ask you for overall financial advice. I am currently just beginning dental hygiene school. That's going to be about a year. I pay about $1,100 a month for that, as well as taking out some unsubsidized and subsidized student loans. My husband hasn't been working for about 2 years.
Why?
He's struggling with his mental health. And so he doesn't even know if he sees working in his future. So I am currently working while going to school. I'm not sure if I should keep working while I go to school, stop working, all of that stuff.
Wow, you're carrying a heavy load, girl.
Huge load.
Yes.
So what is the nature of his mental health issues?
He just struggles with some depression and anxiety.
Is he seeing someone for help?
He sees somebody like maybe once every other month.
Not good enough.
Not really, no.
Okay, no, it's not.
Not that I feel correct.
No, listen, here's the situation. Okay, mental health is like other health. You work on it to get better. your rehab
I agree, yeah.
to get better. A friend of mine busted his shoulder. I saw him this morning. He's doing the PT, and he said it hurts like crazy. But if you don't do the PT, you don't get better, and he's going to lose the action in the shoulder due to the surgery he had. So he's got to do the PT. The depression is it's not magical, but it very seldom fixes itself.
Correct. He has obviously both of us and my in-laws have a huge Christian faith background, and so a lot of his reasoning for not wanting to see somebody is that he's continually speaking to God, and
he needs to find a counselor that is a Christian based. There's plenty of them out there.
Correct.
There's plenty of mental health professionals that don't think that faith is incongruent with mental health. So, yeah, you're going to be working, but I need to see a future for you all where he's working again. Because he gets better. Because him sitting at home on the couch and being depressed for 25 years is not a plan. I don't want that for him, and I don't want that for you. And I don't want these student loans for you, but I don't know what else to tell you right this second. So lots and lots and lots of hours on your part because you're carrying the whole thing by yourself, girl. I'm sorry. What a mess you got. He needs to get some help regularly. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free screen live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. You jump in, we'll talk about your life and your money. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey personality, host of The Table, and author of the #1 best-selling book, Debt-Free Degree, is my co-host today. Open phones here, 888-825-5225. Jessica in Little Rock, Arkansas. How are you, Jessica?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Good. Well, let me tell you, I know how ignorant I am in all of this, so go easy on me here. And I called on the perfect day with Anthony being there. So I am the first one in my family to have gone to college, got a full ride for undergrad, and then for vet school. I said, yeah, let's take out all the student loans. So fast forward 7 years later, I now have $394,000 in student loans. So loan forgiveness, the whole 20 years, you hear that myth. Decided I'm not going to do that. We're going to bust down and try to get these. I think I can get them in 3 to 4 years.
What do you do?
So I'm a veterinarian.
Good.
Yes, sir. Yep, just started an emergency. So bottom line, just signed on with them. My base or my guaranteed is going to be $90,000. Based on commission, I think I can take home gross about $163,000 a year.
Good.
Yeah, I can pick up extra shifts. So I'm really, like I said, 3 years. We're really hoping to go for this. So I've got 2 loans. One is $142,000, and that is a 7.9% interest rate.
Mm.
The other one is $252,000 roughly, and it's 6.8%.
Yeah.
So I have $41,000 in savings, no other debt, just my student loans. So my question is, do I hit those interest rates pretty hard with that savings, or on my minimum? If I go snowball, do I pay minimum on that $251?
Mm-hmm.
And how do I tackle these things?
Yeah. Now, before we go there, are you married? I may have missed this.
I am not. No, sir. I'm
okay,
single.
so you're single right now, making $163,000. Okay, cool, great. Yeah, so you're going to hit that snowball. Now, I do want you to look into refi because those interest rates are high. And Splash Financial I do know for a fact that they can beat that rate. Okay, so now here's the thing. You're refining to lower your interest rate, not to lower your payments, not to come any lower. Okay, we're trying to save you money on the long run. All right, but I want you to go ahead and line up your debt snowball with those 2 loans, and then make the minimum payments on both. But then all your extra money for these next 3 years, you're putting it on the slowest one, on the smallest one.
Yeah. So throw the 41 at the 140.
Right.
And look at refinancing both of them with Splash if you can, because if you can drop it 1%, that saves you $4,000 a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're at about 4.5 right now, Dave.
Okay. So well, I mean, I don't know if both these loans are going to qualify how they're structured, but if you can qualify and get those rolled in, 2% would be $8,000 a year. That's very helpful here. It doesn't change the whole equation, but it changes it by 2 months or something. So what changed the whole equation was your wake-up call where you had that oh crap moment and you said, I'm going to get in attack mode, and you went to warrior mode. You pushed warrior button on it, and very good. Good for you. And the good news about veterinarian medicine is that you can make that kind of money.
Yeah.
And so you can clean this up very quickly if you're willing to work as hard as you're willing to work, and as much as you're willing to work, getting all that OT and jacking up there. So you've got the solution. You need $400,000, and you can make that with your great income in 3 years and knock it out. Plus or minus interest rates, plus or minus what order of attack. But I would get the interest rates down with Splash, like Anthony suggested, and I would attack the smallest one first and use the $40,000 to do that. Hold $1,000 back for your baby step 1, and then just lean in. And all you're going to see are animals for the next 3 years, not people.
Not people.
Except for the animals people that bring the animals in. But other than that, you're going to be working.
Absolutely.
So,
Not dating, you working.
Well, now you just got to meddling. But you can go on a date if you want to go on a date. I don't care.
She ain't paying for it.
As long as you're working. As long as she's not paying for it.
As long as she's not paying for it.
That's right. She's going to where she's working.
Yeah.
So, but that's great. You're doing really good. You've got a great attitude about it. You've got a sense of awareness, and you faced the reality. You looked the monster in the eyes and said, I'm going to kill you. We got this.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
And all jokes aside, Dave, I hear discipline in her voice.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I want to get there tomorrow.
Getting a DVM is almost, in many cases, it's harder than becoming an MD.
Wow.
Well, think about it. You have to study several species.
Yes.
An MD only has to study one.
Yes.
So, it's serious. It's a real serious degree.
Yeah.
And dumb people don't get them. So it's it's powerful. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Good job, Jessica. All right. Open phones at 888-825-5225. So what I can't figure out is how you get the reputation that if you're here, that there's niceness on the show.
Well, Dave, I think what people are saying, Anthony's not nice. He just got a little bit more swag than Dave. And so the swag comes off cool. Cools come off nice. You're Uncle Dave. I'm Nephew Anthony. That's what it is. That's what it is. You're Uncle Dave. I'm Nephew Anthony.
I'm not sure what he just said. I think I just got insulted, but I'm not sure.
No, not at all, Dave. Not at all. It's called the Ramsey Show now. So we have you're the vet, you're the seasoned. I'm the rookie. I'm coming in just helping people understand.
Yeah.
Filling
the nice shoes.
Hey,
somebody's got to be nice.
I don't hang up on people on my show.
You don't have people on your show. There's that.
Yo, that was a good clap back. That was a good one, Dave.
There's
that was
a detail that we need to cover. Johnny is in Boston. Hey, Johnny, I'm going to bring you up after the break, Johnny. We've already blathered down into the break here. Oh, my gosh. Well, let's get this done. Folks, if you've considered how your spending habits influence your kids, we've just dropped prices up to 80% on our best-selling kids products. The Adventure Pack is a family favorite that includes the new Storytime collection, the Financial Peace Junior, and the Smart Saver Bank, all about teaching the littles how to handle money. That way, when they grow up, they don't live in your basement. If you got a teen, we've got Anthony's Teen Entrepreneurial Toolbox. It's the perfect, safe, and flexible way for them to create their own summer job. They'll turn hobbies into a real business and learn hard work, leadership, responsibility. Teach them the right way to handle money while they're young. Save up to 80%. Shop the Kids and Teens sale at the online store at RamseySolutions.com. Right now off 80%. So teach the littles, man. It's a big deal. That's one ingredient in changing your family tree. You change the math, but if you leave it to people who don't have any sense, then it goes all down the toilet. So you got to teach them so they got sense. That's how this works. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey folks, I got a great option to help you pay for your education. The Army National Guard. The Army National Guard believes you are the next greatest generation because you have proven that even in adversity, that you have what it takes to succeed. That's why they offer benefits like tuition assistance, career training, and a paycheck to help you avoid debt. No matter what your goals are, the Army National Guard can help you get there. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Johnny is in Boston. Hey, Johnny, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Dave, Anthony, how you guys doing?
Great, man. What's up?
Real quick, I just want to say, Anthony, I definitely agree. You got more swag than Dave. I heard you mention that earlier. Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Hey, John, I like you, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. It feels good. This is the Ramsey Show, but we just called it the Anthony O'Neill Ramsey Show. Thank you, man. How can I help you, Johnny?
Yeah, because he's going to have to.
Yeah, so I'm 24. I graduated college 3 years ago, and instead of getting a job, I've been building my own video production company. And I recently just got a new job, and I want to continue to grow my company on the side. And I'm just wondering how I should best invest my new income after I, allocate my 15% towards retirement. I want to just basically have money to invest into, marketing ads and new equipment, but I also want to save for a home, which is very expensive in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
so,
it is. It definitely is.
Just want to get your advice.
So what's your total income right now? What are you making a year?
My production company makes about 25, 30, and my new job pays 70.
Okay.
So just about 100.
Okay. So your production company, that's just your income. What are you paying yourself? Are you taking all 25 of that?
I usually put 50% away off my income from my company.
Okay.
And yeah, I was using that to pay off my student loans, and I'm a couple months away from doing that.
Okay. How much debt are you in right now?
About $3,000.
Okay, cool. How much money do you have in your savings?
I've been putting all of it towards my student loans, so I got about $1,500.
Okay. So here's the thing, and I definitely want Dave to talk to you. So you got to make up with him after that comment, because he built an empire over here, so he can tell you how to build an empire.
And he's sensitive that way.
But I'm definitely. I feel as if for you, man, the number one investment you can do is go ahead and knock out this $3,000, especially at your age, and get that fully funded emergency fund up to at least 3 months for yourself. But I can't talk into the business because I haven't built a business before, but I really would love to see you focusing on now trying to invest more and start saving for a home. But I do want you to build a business, and Dave can really talk into that part.
What I would do is just take a percentage of your production income and say, I'm going to allocate that to whatever I make. I'm going to put X percent towards, number one, you got to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
And so, and as a Christian, I tithe. And so with taxes and tithe, that's 50% is gone. 40% for taxes, 10% for tithe. So 50% is gone. Right. Then what do I do with the other 50% on your business income? I would, let me back up a minute. you don't have taxes and tithe until you have net profit. And so your top line was $25,000, right? You before you paid expenses.
30 was my highest.
Okay. All right. So 30,000, you pay all your expenses. Take a percentage of the 30 and say, I'm going to set that aside for growth of the business, marketing, equipment, inventory, whatever. And it could be 10%, it could be 25%. It does not need to be 50% or more.
Okay.
Okay. Then the rest of it you bring home, and you set taxes aside out of that, and you put that into your budget to say 15% of that's going into retirement, along with 15% of the day job, and then above that we're doing our baby step 3B. So then you just say, and all the rest of it goes towards the house. So that's going to give you plenty of money to really start saving towards the house out of your day job and out of the business as well, but still set aside a percentage. If you just develop yourself a little formula like that, then it's automatic. And you say, okay, this month I had $4,000 come in, 20% goes back into the business. Okay, then boom, $800 goes over here to set aside to grow the business. The other 3,200 is coming down through the funnel and going to drop into the at-home formula where we're doing 15% of the income and the rest towards house savings. So that puts you, in that position. So that's very good.
You should be debt-free within the next 2 months.
Oh, he's debt-free now. I may be debt-free in 20 seconds here. Yeah, that's behind him. But like you said, get that emergency fund built, get your baby step 4 going, baby step 3B going. All of that happens at home after you set aside some percentage of your top line for growth and restocking and so forth. Robert is in St. Louis. Hey, Robert, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
My wife and I have been married about 7 months, so we're pretty newlyweds. And she has about 105,000 student loans. We make combined about 120,000 a year. My question is, the housing market right here is red hot. So I'm thinking if we sold our house, I could conservatively make about 130 grand on it and basically cover all of her loans.
Wow.
My parents live close by, and they've offered to let us move in and kind of rent to own. While they bought a condo down in Florida, so they'd be back and forth, to the house and whatnot. But they've offered us to, live in it, just pay them rent, and then we could make whatever updates we wanted to the house, and eventually when they pass away, it'd be ours. So.
No, that part I'm not doing. No, thank you. That's too weird a plan for her.
Right.
But would I sell the house? And just go rent something and be debt free? Man, I'd be really tempted. Yeah, I wouldn't do the whole parent thing though.
Yeah, that's scary.
Okay.
Yeah, I would avoid. I don't think that's good for your marriage.
Especially in the first year.
Yeah.
You all need freedom and peace.
That's Papa Dave advice. That's not financial advice. But, I wouldn't, I think that's got too many weird strings and twisted up spider webs tied to the deal, and it's strung out, and it's, sort of your house, but they sort of might come home and live there some, and it's back and forth. So, no, I just go rent you a place.
Yeah.
If you want to sell the house and be debt-free, that's not a bad idea. It's not the end of the world if you don't. You can be debt-free fairly quick, making 120 anyway, if you just lean into it. But if you guys just say, well, the house isn't our favorite, we'll go rent for 2 years, and we'll be debt-free, and we'll save up and let this housing market calm down, then buy again, that would be okay. But you don't have to. But if you just, but I wouldn't do the parent part of it. Are you hearing? I mean,
no, Dave, I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I mean, because mom and dad can come home whenever they want, and we're just now newly married. We're still getting to know each other. I don't want to get to know her and her get to know my parents at the same time. Like we need freedom. We need peace. We need our own privacy, you know. And so I would just go, whatever you're going to pay them for rent, go rent an apartment.
Yeah.
And just start stacking up your bread. And then once you get your money back up, go get the house that you all want eventually. But I would not sign an agreement with mom, dad, mother-in-law, father-in-law right now.
No.
I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only part of it sounds weird, but I'm on the fence as to whether I'd sell or not. Selling a house to get out of debt is the last thing I do.
Right.
I try everything else, unless you just don't like the house.
Yeah, isn't that the question? Like, if you had no debt, would you still want to sell the house?
Yeah. If we were thinking about selling anyway,
yeah.
Of course, the problem is if you sell in this high market, you got to buy in this high market.
Yes.
So you've got both sides of this. I mean, you just walk out on the plank doing that. But that's a yeah, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. It's not a bad idea, but I think the answer to the question is, should you sell the house, is really, do you just don't care about the house anyway? Are you only doing this for debt, and I love the house and I hate to part with it? Then I'd probably sit there and fight through the debt. Or I hate the house and this is an excuse to get rid of it, and I get out of debt, ding ding, we're out of there.
There you go.
And go rent for a little bit. That's probably the way you answer the question. And then just avoid the whole parent trap thing. This is The Ramsey Show. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Jason and Alexis are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Way better than we deserve.
I love it. Welcome. Where do you guys live?
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Awesome. Welcome to Nashville. Bit of a haul to Nashville from there. You drive or fly?
Drive.
That's a long way. How many hours?
Well, it's 14 if we didn't stop.
Okay. Ooh. Well, but we did stop.
Yes.
Okay. I hope so. Wow. Good for you guys. So how much debt have you paid off?
What was it? $345,000.
$345K. How long did that take?
7 years and 4 months.
7 years and 4 months. And your range of income during that time?
$50,000 to $145,000 last year.
Okay.
Wow.
That tells me you paid off your house.
We did.
Woo! Look at it, weird people. How old are you two with a paid-for house?
I'm 27.
29.
Millennials.
But he was 28 a week before we paid off the house. So.
Wow. Not even 30 years old and you got a paid-for house.
Let's do it.
What's this house worth?
That's a beautiful home.
The current one, probably close to 400, but we're building the next one and so forth.
And got the cash?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. Because that's what you do. That's how we roll.
Yeah, exactly. No, wait. That's not how we roll. They are millennials, sir. That's how we roll.
Whoa! Whoa! I was saying it in their voice. Turkey. My gosh. All right. Fun, guys. Way to go.
Wow,
this is so cool. So tell me what happened 7 years ago before Anthony worked here.
Well, actually, quite a while ago, in 2000, I think it was 2006. Is that what we had? Yeah, so in like 2006, my parents took FPU, and I went through it with them when I was 13 years old. Oh. So that's really where it began.
Man, see, I was rooting for y'all, you know.
That's awesomeness.
So, yeah, but...
Then you get married and you go, Jason, there's this thing, like we're going to pay off everything.
Yes, yeah. When we were engaged, I made him go through it with me, and it was kind of a requirement to get married for me. So...
Wow. I mean,
yeah.
that's indoctrination right there. I like it. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I took it when I was 13 with my parents, and then Jason he's always been a frugal saver. So, I mean, it wasn't terribly hard to get him on board or anything, and he had heard of you before, so that was helpful. And then also, we had Lily when I was in high school. So despite having a teenage pregnancy, we still are here today, where we're at with our money. And we rented a townhome for our first year of marriage, just like you recommend. And while we were living there, we had an idea of how we could get to this day sooner.
Wow.
And that's where the fun begins.
Okay.
So we bought our first house in 2013. 14, and it was a foreclosure, flipped it, sold it, and then that's when we started buying land and building our houses we live in, and build them, do it all, sell it, keep moving, and we're building house number 4 right now.
But this is the first time you've done it all cash.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they know how they build their own houses, so we don't have to pay for labor, so we just have to pay for materials.
Oh, wow.
So.
Very cool.
Because me and my brother are in business together. We own our own construction. I'm an electrical contractor. My brother's a general contractor. So we own our own business together and do everything. And yeah.
That's fun. Wow. Very cool. Good for you guys. That's a great idea. And so this is how you end up with a house this nice that's paid for and building another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we paid cash for my college, and he paid cash for his tech school and a few vehicles along the way, and we had another baby along the way, so we had other things that financially came up as well. So
that's so cool. So what are you going to do with this house? Are you going to sell this one, or are you going to keep it?
We'll live in it for 2 years and sell it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get to the next one.
Yeah, just get the capital gains, get the free capital gains that way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Very cool.
What would you say was the hardest thing on this journey of paying off? Because would you say you made around 70 on average over the last 70 years, or was it 50 and then it just went to 145 last year?
Well, see, the part of that is like, what was it? 5 years ago, I bought into my brother's business once I passed my contractor's test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So before that, you were going to school full time. I was working full time as an electrician. So.
I was part time.
Yep. So we're making mostly 50 through most of that, or a little less, or right around there. And then I guess that 140 is like our gross before taxes, but what we actually take home is a lot less than that because our business is growing and we're built a shop. We buy trucks and equipment and trailers and all that fun stuff. So we actually live on. I think we basically figured out
62,000 is what we actually have to budget with. We don't have 145 to work with.
Budget a year.
Yeah. Wow. Way to go, guys! And you actually know your numbers and everything.
I know.
That's so impressive. Very well done. Very well done. And so you brought baby with you?
Yep.
Part of the debt-free scream. Let's get him in the shot. What's his name?
Come here, Lincoln.
His name is Lincoln, and this is Lily.
Lincoln and Lily. And Lincoln is how old?
3.
3. All right. Very cool. Well, way to go, you guys. I love looking at weird people. What a great plan. Way to execute. And we're honored to have you here. Got their debt-free T-shirts on, everything. Yes. All right. $345,000. That's house and everything. And they're not even 30. All done in 7 years, making 50 to 145. Jason, Alexis, Lily, and Lincoln, count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
All the glory be to God. 3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
That is amazing.
That's how it's done.
Yes.
Well done, well done, well done. That is amazing. Very cool.
I mean, Dave, that's the third person today in their, I just want to say in their 20s who have paid off debt.
Yep. And paid off a bunch of debt.
Yes.
All of them debt-free and all not even 30.
Wow.
So if you're just wondering, America, if there's hope in the future, there is hope in the future.
Yes.
We've got wonderful folks in that age group on our team here that are absolutely bright, hardworking, diligent, caring, love God, love America, doing their thing. And we get them on this debt-free stage every day, living the dream. They're not entitled brats. They're not jerks. They're doing it. So just know that they're out there. Yeah. There's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah, yeah. How does your generation feel, Dave, when y'all see that,
hopeful.
Younger people?
Hopeful.
Love it.
We're going to make it.
Yeah.
But if it's all participation trophy whining, trolling from your mother's basement, I mean, that doesn't give you much hope.
Right.
Because that's basically a group of parasites.
Yeah.
And so but that's just that's a proverbial dad joke in a sense, so you just have to use some sense. Every generation has had some rock stars. I do really think that the millennial generation has there's something uniquely good about it. There's some things that are uniquely bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over here, they've got the knock on them is born in truth with some of them, but the one we get to meet so many like that they're mature beyond their years. I don't remember a generation that at 22, 23, 24 years old standing in front of me acting like they're 35.
Right.
And any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and so, the ones that are game on are really wise beyond their years. There's a wisdom. That's really, there's a lot of things you can say. I was going to say mature,
right.
but but that's not, it is maturity, but it's a wisdom.
And I think the key thing here too, Dave, is what I love is their parents turned them on to you earlier
13 years old, she went through it. And so her mom and daddy are probably Xers.
That's a secret.
Yeah.
That's a secret. America.
Drugs a 13-year-old to Financial Peace University while they were going through the class. This is how you change your family tree. Then your daughter's standing up here with a paid-for house at 28. Wow. Financial Peace, babies. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Psalm 118:24. This is the day that the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Will Rogers said, don't let yesterday take up too much of today. That's the truth. Wow, good stuff. Anthony O'Neill, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Kyle is with us in Hattiesburg. Hey, Kyle, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
How you doing, Mr. Ramsey? How you doing, Mr. O'Neill?
Good. Better than he deserves. What's up?
I just have some questions about my future right now. Currently, I'm a graduate assistant at University of Southern Mississippi. I work in communications. I am very lucky right now. I got a good position. They're actually paying for my MBA.
Yeah.
I have about a year and a half left on this. I'm just trying to figure out financially what I should be doing because that way I'm kind of struggling right now. The stipend we get is roughly about $800 a month. With budgeting, I only get about $100 of that, with rent, car insurance, phone bills, and other stuff like that. Student loans, I have about $50,000, and then personal and credit card combines to be about $5,300. I'm just trying to figure out what I should be doing since I'm making such a low amount of money each month.
Working. You should work.
Yep. So the position I have right now, I'm working about 12-hour days when you combine class and the office work with that. So I'm just trying to figure out if that's something that
you have a graduate assistant position that is 12-hour days and the stipend is $800.
Roughly, yeah. Each day can vary, go down to anywhere from about 7 hours. This is with classes. But I'm the lead person in charge for a couple of these sport programs for their communications. So I'm just trying to figure out.
Did you take some of this on as a volunteer position, or it was required as part of the graduate assistance program?
It's required, sir.
I don't like it.
Doesn't sound like, I mean, I love a GA position to go and get your degree for free and get a stipend, but usually it leaves you room to either have enough of a stipend to exist, or it leaves you room to get some other side work to be able to live. They're not furnishing housing, right?
No, I'm rooming with another GA that I work with right now.
On $800 a month.
Yep, we each get $800.
And can you do anything on the weekends, or are you working on the weekends too?
So that just depends. So over the summer, I'm free, so I'm definitely getting a job over the summer. But then once it gets back into the academic and athletic seasons, it really is up to whatever the schedules of the sports are. So on the weekends, I'll be working or I'll be traveling with the sports. So that is just something that I have to try and figure out. So,
Kyle, let me ask you this question. Because right now you can't live. Okay, so let's just
how are you doing it?
Yeah, like you can't live.
It's a great question.
You've been running up credit
I'm
card
just
debt,
trying to figure out what I'm doing. So,
how are you paying your rent?
With $800, the rent's $480. The car insurance is about $60 a month. Phone is about $40. I have to pay for the hotspot.
So, Kyle, let me ask you this question:
Where do they feed you?
No, they ain't doing nothing.
When we travel with the team, yes.
You don't have enough. There's something wrong with your numbers because you're not making enough to even buy food with what you just outlined.
No.
Yep, I have about $120 a month.
So have you been taking out student loans through this?
Yes.
Oh, that's where you're eating. Okay. So you're taking out student loans to exist. You're taking out student loans to exist.
Yeah, with the $5,300 with that personal and credit card, that's what I've taken out so far.
I don't like it.
Okay, so here's the deal: an MBA at I don't know what Georgia Southern charges or Mississippi Southern charges, but it shouldn't be that much. It should be $15,000-$20,000, and they're getting more out of you than that.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is not working for you. You'd be better off to get a job and finish your MBA and pay for it.
That's what I've been trying to figure out, is if that's something I should be looking into doing, just because the bachelor's degree that I got, if I could go back in time, which obviously you can't, that's something that I would probably change degree-wise.
Yeah, but dude, you can deliver pizzas and make $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
And that's a considerable raise over where you are. MBA cost plus $800 is $10,000. So, the total cost of an MBA through the whole program shouldn't be $20,000, and you don't have that much left. How much have you got left?
But time-wise, about a year and a half.
You must be crawling through it. It shouldn't be but a year and a half program. Did you just start?
So most of the athletic GA programs are a 2-year program. So yes, I just did start. It's been a couple months I've been struggling.
Okay. So is this an athletic MBA? I'm working through the athletic department at the University of Southern Mississippi, and they're paying for the MBA. Oh, I see. Okay. And the MBA is at Southern Mississippi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what does it cost to just enroll for an MBA at Southern Mississippi? Do you know?
Like you said, anywhere from about $15,000 to $20,000.
Yeah. And that's over 2 years.
Yes, sir.
So you're getting $10,000 a year and $10,000 a year worth of tuition free, and you're working 12 hours a day, and you are going into debt in order to survive because your total package is only worth $20,000 a year, 10 of stipend and 10 of tuition, or less. And so you're better off to go deliver pizzas and pay for your own MBA. You'd have a better life, and you'd have more money. Am I missing the math?
No, sir. You took everything out of my mouth. I want him to quit today.
Yeah.
That's what I really want.
You sound tired.
You hear it in his voice, Dave.
Sound exhausted just thinking about it. Well, you're working 12 hours a day and you don't make enough to eat.
Right.
So you're having to go into debt just to buy food.
And you can hear that he doesn't like the fact that he's taking out debt.
Well, I don't.
And it defeats the purpose.
There's no need.
They're paying for his school, but he's still got to take out money just to eat.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. I'm quitting. I'm going to go use my degree in some kind of way, maybe do some tutoring, drive for Uber. You got a car insurance. You can do that on the weekend.
Anything. Yeah. You can make more money than you're making doing anything.
Absolutely.
And still have the money to finish the MBA in there.
He can make $1,000 a weekend, Dave, just from driving for Uber.
Yeah. Yeah, we're hearing people do all kinds of stuff. Again, pizzas, Uber, whatever, dog walking, I don't care. Start a grass cutting business, I don't care. You can make $15,000, $20,000 a year, or you can make $20,000 to $30,000 a year doing those kinds of things all the time, and work less and have more of a life, and live exactly the place you're living, pay exactly what you're paying, and still get everything cleaned up and still get through your MBA. That's what I'm talking about doing. So you need to renegotiate with them and say, you're going to cut my hours in half so that I can work a side job, or I'm going to have to leave this program. Those are their two options. They're about to lose their guy. And you know what? They might. They might.
Because somebody will be stupid enough to do that.
Well, they might let him go, but they might let him run away. But they might need him, and they might go, oh, yeah, we are trying to kill this guy. 12 hours a day, $800. Yeah, that doesn't work. So somewhere in there, you got to work it through. Hey, man, thank you for the call. And I think you need to set yourself free. I hear a lot of tension in your voice. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
This is James Childs, producer of The Ramsey Show. You can listen to all our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. Browse by topic or even send clips to your friends. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today.